And so what can also happen is if your attitude, or getting into flight control or flight instruments, if your attitude happens to be a little off, by the time your wing reaches that point, now you're going to enter a spin. And instead of just going down, you're going to start spinning down. All right? And there's a recovery for that. It's not the end of the world. Which leads to my very last question on this slide. Can you land an airplane if the engine all of a sudden shuts off?
No.
Anybody else? All right, so the truth is you actually can. All right, these planes, thanks to this principle right here, in part, are built to where even if you lost power, you can glide on your way in. You can glide in. In fact, it's something that I practice often. We call power off 180s, where we literally pull the throttle all the way back. You know, we're no longer getting power, even though you could argue you're still getting some windmill. And we land the plane. All right. So even if you lose power completely, it is not the end of the world. And believe it or not, it happens, and people survive. All right. Sometimes people don't survive for various reasons, but it is not the end of the world if your engine shuts off. And as a pilot, you're always preparing yourself for the worst case. As Ian and his son flew his plane over here from Titusville, and I'll talk more about him in a little bit. He's probably, it's probably like second nature at this point. He's looking down periodically and seeing, you know, oh yeah, if my engine shuts down, I can be right in that patch right there. Oh yeah, that'll work out. You know, we're always thinking like that around worst case. If you're doing a cross-country flight, you're also thinking about what other airports you can pass along the way, just in case, for whatever reason. So you're always having a contingency plan, you know. I'm not here to tell you that everything is perfect when it comes to flying and nothing bad can happen. I am just the opposite. I will let you know that there is always hazards anytime you're in the air. All right, because it's nothing that we're just naturally built for. I can't just jump up like Superman and fly in the air. But we train to prepare for that. Ava is in there right now debriefing and training to prepare for that. That's the whole point of training. It's not just learning how to fly, but learning about those contingencies, learning about the resources that you have around you in this entire national airspace. All right, so it's important to talk about the bad things that can happen. If you're like me, I'm always looking at bad things that have happened because I'm looking to learn from them. So you start studying that kind of stuff and asking yourself, what could I have done differently? I probably watch about three to five different podcasts regularly, just learning from that. There's an old saying in aviation that checklists are written in blood. That's the truth. That's the absolute truth. We are to learn from those things and just always be prepared. Now, if that scares you, then I still wouldn't encourage you to step away from this, because our whole point is the things that we're talking about ain't just about becoming a pilot. You have many, many examples of different aspects throughout the aerospace industry. But if anything, it excites us as pilots because it's a constant challenge. It keeps us on our toes. We will never master it. All right, I should have had you stand up earlier, but he is the pinnacle of what a pilot is because he actually flies professionally, really, really, really big planes. All right, and imagine all the training that it took, basically having a PhD in flying. You know, we're always preparing ourselves for the worst case, and that's whether we're flying these small, little, tiny putt-putt planes or flying something much bigger and much more complicated. So, any questions so far? I did a lot of talking. I can talk all doggone this. Anything not making, too much sense? So, the next part, just to give you an overview as far as what we're about to talk about in the order of operations here. I'm going to talk to you about what the six-pack of instruments are, and I will briefly talk to you about the four stages of a piston engine. Then we're going to go outside and really take a deep dive at both of those concepts, and even the concept on the first that was on the first page. you'll see in front of you that you have these coasters that happen to be in the shape or form of actual flight instruments. Then you'll see some really old school stuff that was donated to me many years ago. All right, and I do that to show you guys kind of the evolution of where we've come. And a lot of that is owed to some of those guys over there who are engineers and have to actually design and test this kind of stuff, right? So when we say the 6-pack of instruments, that's what this icon or this picture is over here. And it's literally, giving you a depiction of what it actually looks like if you were to step into a certain aircraft. So if you see right here, this is your airspeed indicator. And you see right here, this is your attitude indicator. Your altimeter, which is showing how high you are. Your turn coordinator, which is talking about your rate of turn. Your heading indicator, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit, and your vertical speed indicator, how fast you're climbing, how fast you're descending. One of my favorites, that heading indicator, a lot of folks don't know, north, south, east, and west, the entire, radio as far as direction is broken up into 360 degrees. And so we'll call 0 degrees north, or you can call it 360. 90 degrees is east, 180 degrees is south, 270 degrees is west. And so this whole 360 degree radial, magnetic, you'll see numbers on these runways, and that's what those numbers mean, is how they're situated along that 360 degree radial. So if you happen to be landing while facing 90 degrees, then it's going to be runway 9er, because we always drop the 0 off. One thing I want you guys to do, I think you have a blank sheet on the back of that second page. Flip it over, let me see if I'm right about that. Oh no, you don't, okay. So instead, on the back of your first page,